The internet has become synonymous with easy access to pornography. With just a few taps on a smartphone or clicks on a computer, anyone can access an almost infinite library of explicit content. It is readily available, often free, and accessible to anyone with an internet connection. This ease of access has revolutionized the way people consume pornography, and just a few clicks away. The convenience and anonymity provided by digital devices have made it easier than ever to indulge in this content without fear of judgment or repercussion. This easy access has normalized pornography, particularly among young people. In today's digital age, it is not uncommon for teenagers to encounter explicit material even before they fully understand their own sexuality. Many are exposed to it at a young age, often without any guidance or context. This normalization is concerning. Without proper education and open discussions, young people may develop skewed perceptions of sex and relationships. It creates the illusion that pornography is a harmless form of entertainment. However, the reality is far more complex. While some may view it as a private and personal choice, the implications of widespread consumption are significant. However, studies increasingly show that pornography consumption can have detrimental effects. Research has linked excessive consumption to issues such as addiction, desensitization, and unrealistic expectations about sex. These effects can be psychological, leading to anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues. The constant exposure to explicit content can alter brain chemistry and affect emotional well-being, social and even physical. Relationships can suffer as individuals may struggle with intimacy and communication. The portrayal of unrealistic body standards and sexual behaviors can also lead to body image issues and performance anxiety. The sheer volume of pornography available can be overwhelming. With countless websites and endless content, it is easy to get lost in a cycle of consumption that can be hard to break. This can make it difficult for individuals to recognize its potential harms. The normalization of pornography in society often downplays the negative consequences, making it challenging for people to see the bigger picture. It also makes it challenging to have open and honest conversations about its impact. Addressing the issue requires a collective effort to educate and create awareness about the potential risks associated with pornography consumption. Only through open dialogue and informed discussions can we hope to mitigate its adverse effects and promote healthier attitudes towards sex and relationships. Pornography consumption affects the brain in ways similar to drug addiction. It triggers the release of dopamine, creating a pleasurable feeling. Over time, the brain becomes accustomed to this dopamine rush. This can lead to tolerance, meaning more pornography is needed to achieve the same effect. This cycle of tolerance and increased consumption can develop into compulsive behavior. Individuals may find themselves spending excessive amounts of time viewing pornography. This can interfere with work, relationships, and overall well-being. Psychologists, furthermore, pornography often portrays unrealistic and often violent sexual acts. Regular exposure to such content can distort perceptions of healthy sexuality. It can also lead to unrealistic expectations and difficulties in forming intimate relationships. Pornography rarely reflects the realities of healthy, intimate relationships. It often presents a skewed view of sex, focusing on performance, dominance, and unrealistic body images. This can lead to body image issues, performance anxiety, and difficulty experiencing genuine intimacy. Teenager. Moreover, pornography can create a disconnect between sex and emotional connection. It often portrays sex as a purely physical act, devoid of emotional intimacy and respect. This can make it challenging for individuals to form and maintain healthy, loving relationships. The constant exposure to idealized bodies and sexual acts can lead to dissatisfaction with one's own body and relationships. This can fuel a cycle of seeking validation and fulfillment through pornography, further perpetuating the problem. Section 4. The social fallout eroding intimacy and respect. In today's digital age, the pervasive presence of pornography has far-reaching implications that extend beyond individual consumption. It infiltrates the very fabric of our social interactions and relationships, subtly but significantly altering the way we perceive intimacy and respect.
The normalization of pornography has broader social consequences. As it becomes more accepted and accessible, it shapes societal norms and expectations in ways that are often detrimental. This normalization can blur the lines between healthy sexual expression and exploitative behavior, making it harder to distinguish between the two. It contributes to the objectification of women and the hypersexualization of society as a whole. When media consistently portrays women as mere objects of sexual desire, it reinforces harmful stereotypes and diminishes the value of women as individuals with their own agency and worth. This can lead to a devaluation of women and a decrease in respect for all genders. The constant exposure to such content can warp perceptions, making it challenging to foster genuine respect and equality in relationships. It undermines the foundation of mutual respect that is crucial for healthy interaction.
The widespread availability of pornography also makes it more difficult to address issues like sexual violence and exploitation. When such content is easily accessible, it normalizes behaviors that should be condemned, complicating efforts to combat these serious issues. It creates a paradox where society condemns violence and exploitation in theory, but tolerates it in practice through media consumption. When extreme content is readily available, it can desensitize viewers to violence and abuse. This desensitization can lead to a lack of empathy and understanding, making it harder for individuals to recognize and respond to abusive situations. It numbs the emotional response that is necessary for taking action against such behaviors. This can create a climate where such behavior is more likely to be tolerated. When the society becomes desensitized, the threshold for what is considered unacceptable behavior rises, allowing more harmful actions to go unchecked. This tolerance can perpetuate a cycle of abuse and exploitation.
Furthermore, the easy access to pornography can make it more difficult for young people to develop healthy sexual identities. Adolescents are at a critical stage of forming their understanding of relationships and sexuality. Exposure to unrealistic and often harmful portrayals of sex can skew their perceptions and hinder their ability to form healthy, respectful relationships. It can create unrealistic expectations and pressures, contributing to anxiety and insecurity. Young people may feel pressured to emulate what they see in pornography, leading to feelings of inadequacy and stress. This can have long-term effects on their mental health and self-esteem, making it harder for them to navigate real-life relationships. This underscores the need for comprehensive sex education that goes beyond the mechanics of sex to address issues of respect, consent, and healthy relationships. Education should empower young people with the knowledge and skills to build respectful and consensual relationships. It should challenge the harmful narratives perpetuated by pornography and promote a more balanced and respectful understanding of sexuality.
Section 5, Beyond the Hype, Debunking Common Myths About Pornography. In this section, we will explore some of the most pervasive myths and misconceptions about pornography, shedding light on the realities that often go unspoken.
There are many myths surrounding pornography, often used to downplay its potential harms. These myths can be deeply ingrained in our culture, making it difficult to separate fact from fiction. One common myth is that pornography is harmless entertainment. This belief is widespread, with many people viewing it as just another form of media consumption, akin to watching a movie or playing a video game. However, as discussed, it can have serious psychological and social consequences. Studies have shown that excessive consumption of pornography can lead to addiction, depression, and even relationship issues. It's not just about the content itself, but the way it can alter one's perception of reality and human relationships.
Another myth is that pornography can improve one's sex life. This idea is often perpetuated by the industry itself, suggesting that watching porn can spice things up in the bedroom. While some may find it arousing, it can actually lead to unrealistic expectations and performance anxiety, hindering genuine intimacy. The scripted and often exaggerated scenarios in pornography can create a distorted view of sex, making real-life experiences seem inadequate by comparison.
Some argue that pornography is a matter of personal choice and freedom. They believe that as long as it is consumed by consenting adults, it should be left to individual discretion. While individuals have the right to make their own choices, it's crucial to be aware of the potential consequences and to engage in critical thinking about the messages conveyed by pornography. It's important to consider how these messages might influence our views on sex, relationships, and even gender roles.
Finally, some claim that attempts to regulate pornography are a form of censorship. This argument suggests that any regulation is an infringement on free speech and personal freedom. However, concerns about the harmful effects of pornography are not about censorship, but about protecting individuals and society from its potential harms. It's about recognizing the impact that widespread access to explicit content can have on mental health, relationships, and societal norms. By understanding these myths and the realities behind them, we can make more informed decisions and foster a healthier dialogue about pornography and its place in our lives.